इस वीडियो को हिंदी भाषा में देखने के लिए सेटिंग्स में जाकर हिंदी ऑडियो चुनें। Namaskar. Welcome to Simplify Your Space. In my last week's video, I mentioned that I have recently joined stitching classes. It's something I have been really enjoying. I go every day and learn something new. Right now, I'm actually getting ready to head out for class. If you're wondering what my morning looks like before I leave, my 5 a.m. early morning routine, you can check out last week's video. I have linked it in the I button above and also in the description box below. So let's begin today's video from right here. As we get older, that spark to try something new, the excitement and patience we used to have, it slowly starts to fade. I felt that happening to me too. But I think that's exactly when we need to pay a little more attention to ourselves. Sometimes we just need a gentle push to do something different, sometimes that lights us up again. Have you ever noticed how curious and enthusiastic kids are? They get excited about learning anything and everything. But we as adults often stop exploring. We get too comfortable with our regular routine and start living life or doing anything else in just one way. That's why it's important to step out of our comfort zones every now and then and try something new, no matter what age we are. These days, there are so many amazing courses available, both online and offline. Whether it's cooking, baking, stitching, crochet, photography, painting, or music, there is so much to explore. And if you're not into these, you could try a physical activity instead, like swimming, badminton, or tennis. Learning something new is not just about picking up a skill. It's actually great for both our mental and physical health. And especially for homemakers, it brings such a refreshing change. It helps break the monotony of daily routines and gives us a little time just for ourselves. Personally, I'm really enjoying these stitching classes. I'm learning something new every day and it's such a lovely change for me. Stepping out of the house, doing something just for myself. So what about you? What's the next thing you would love to learn? So I'm back home now, and like I mentioned in my last video, I usually feel quite tired after coming back from class. So the first thing I do is freshen up quickly and head straight for lunch. My mother-in-law always makes this one sweet dish for us. It's really simple but honestly so delicious. She slowly reduces the milk until it turns into a kind of khoa, almost like kalakand. It's one of our favorites. Right now I have come to my room to rest for a bit. Usually I take a quick 30-minute nap around this time. But today I thought I would sit down and reply to some of your lovely comments instead. Reading your kind words always lifts my mood and motivates me so much. Thank you for all the love and support. And just like that, my son is back from school too.
सो लास्ट वीक मैंने ये फ़्रॉक बनाया था। ये 5 साल के बच्चे की एक फ़्रॉक मैंने बनाई है। मेरे पास वही मेजरमेंट रखी हुई थी तो मैंने उसी के माप से बना दिया। तो ये सेकंड क्लास में मैंने बनाया था। अभी तो कुछ सिंपल सा ही बनाना है तो इसलिए मैंने ज़्यादा कुछ इसमें डेकोरेट वगैरह नहीं किया है। सिंपल सा एक फ़्रॉक बनाया है मैंने। और इस वीक जो है मैं सलवार कमीज़ बना रही हूँ जो कि अब आई थिंक अगले हफ्ते तक ही कंप्लीट हो पाएगी, तो मैं आपको नेक्स्ट वीडियो में दिखाऊंगी कि वो कैसा बना है। सो लास्ट वाले वीडियो में आप लोगों के बहुत सारे कमेंट्स आए थे और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा ये जानकर कि आपको मेरी ये हॉबी क्लास बहुत अच्छी लग रही है। थैंक यू सो मच। मैं काफ़ी टाइम से स्टिचिंग सीखना चाह रही थी, बस मुझे मौका नहीं मिल रहा था, तो अब मौका मिला है तो मैंने सोचा कि क्यों नहीं मैं सीख लूँ। आप में से काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने ना मुझसे ये भी पूछा था कि ये इंस्टीट्यूट कहाँ पर है, हम भी स्टिचिंग सीखना चाहते हैं। तो मैं बस ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि बहुत ही छोटा सा सिंपल सा इंस्टीट्यूट है। ये कोई फैशन डिज़ाइनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट नहीं है, ये एक छोटा सा सिर्फ स्टिचिंग का इंस्टीट्यूट है। तो मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस जो है वो आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा, आप मुझे वहाँ पर ईमेल करके इंस्टीट्यूट की डिटेल्स ले सकते हैं। सो टू ऑल माई कन्नड़ा फ्रेंड्स, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ನಾನು ಈ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್.
It's around 4:30 in the evening and I've just stepped into the kitchen to start prepping dinner. Today all of us were really craving idli and sambar, so that's what I'm going to make. Now I know idli sambar is usually eaten for breakfast in South India, but honestly we love having it for lunch or dinner too. It's one of our all-time favorites. So here I'm starting with the preparation for rava idli. In a pan I've added a little ghee, and to that I'm adding mustard seeds, split urad dal, roasted chana dal and some curry leaves. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of rava to it. I'm going to lightly roast the rava for a few minutes and then add salt to taste. After that, I will just keep it aside to cool down a bit. In the meanwhile, I will get started with the sambar. I make a very simple sambar packed with lots of vegetables and dal. For the veggies, I am using bottle gourd, lauki and carrots, which I am cutting into small pieces. I am also adding drumsticks, which I had pre-cut and stored in the fridge. The onions and tomatoes were already chopped earlier in the morning, so that saves time too. Doing a bit of prep ahead of time really makes cooking easier and faster. Today I will be making the sambar in my electric pressure cooker. One thing I love about using it is that there is no mess at all, unlike a regular pressure cooker where the steam sometimes splashes turmeric all over the stove top. This one is so much cleaner and quicker. I had soaked the dal right after returning from my class. Soaking really helps reduce the cooking time. I follow a very quick and simple method for making sambar. I don't saute the vegetables separately. I just add the soaked dal, water, salt and turmeric directly into the cooker. Then I add all the chopped vegetables and pressure cook everything together. Once it's done, I simply finish it off with the tadka on top. While the sambar is cooking, I will get the idli batter ready. To the roasted rava mixture, I am now adding 2 cups of curd and mixing it well. The batter feels a bit thick, so I am adding a little water to adjust the consistency. But remember, the batter should still be thick, just like regular idli batter. If it becomes too runny, the idlis won't turn out soft and fluffy. Now I will let this batter rest for about 15 to 20 minutes so the rava has time to soak and fluff up properly. While the batter is resting and the sambar is still cooking, I will quickly prepare some coconut chutney. For that, I am using freshly grated coconut along with garlic, green chilies, roasted chana dal and salt to taste. I will add a little water and grind everything into a smooth chutney. The idli batter is ready now. The rava has fluffed up really well. I am adding a small pinch of baking soda at this stage. It's optional, so feel free to skip it if you like. I had already kept some water to heat in the idli maker, so now I will quickly get the idli steaming. I have greased the idli plates nicely with a little oil. I prefer fitting the plates into the steamer first and then pouring the batter. I find this method easier and more convenient. The idlis will take about 8 to 10 minutes to cook. While they are steaming, I will quickly prepare the tempering for both the chutney and the sambar. For the chutney, I have taken a bit of mustard oil in a small pan and added mustard seeds, curry leaves and dry red chilies. I'll pour this tadka over the chutney and mix it well. The sambar is also ready now, just need the finishing touch. For the tadka, I have heated a little ghee, added mustard seeds, curry leaves, 2 tablespoons of sambar powder and a bit of tamarind paste. I have also added a splash of water so the spices don't burn and mixed everything nicely. This will now go straight into the sambar. I will give it one good mix and let it simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes. And that's it, our sambar and chutney are done and the idlis are perfectly steamed. I will now transfer the hot idlis to a casserole so they stay warm for longer. Dinner is ready, soft idlis, flavorful sambar and fresh coconut chutney. I had to step out with my mother-in-law for a bit, so I prepared dinner in advance. We'll all eat once we are back. I usually prefer having dinner a little early, but today we got back around 8 p.m. and by then I was quite hungry. So now my in-laws and I are sitting down for dinner together. My husband is still at work and my son has gone to the park to play with his friends. He will eat once he's back. After dinner, I quickly cleaned the kitchen and loaded the dishwasher. Since my parents-in-law are staying with us these days, there are more dishes than usual. So it really helps us to run the dishwasher at night. In the morning, everything comes out sparkling clean and ready to use. It's around 9:30 p.m. now and this is when I usually head to bed. This is the next day. After coming back from my stitching class today, I wanted to organize all my sewing supplies. Everything was kept in different places and it was getting a bit difficult to access things easily. So I decided to clear out one of the drawers under my bed and I will now be using it to store all my stitching related items. Before leaving in the morning, I had already gathered everything and placed it on the table. This is my thread box. It holds threads in various colors. In this box, I have kept my designing kit, sewing machine feet, clips and hooks. I've also created a separate box just for things I use while working with the sewing machine at home, like extra threads, bobbins, needles, scissors, oil, etc. This is my measuring ruler kit, which needs a bit more space. This is another section box that holds my complete set of sewing machine feet along with the small screwdriver used to change them. And these are my sewing head pins. I've stuck them neatly into this sponge to keep them safe and prevent them from scattering. In this basket, I've stored different fabric pieces and blouse materials that I will be using during my stitching classes. I had ordered quite a few fabric pieces from Meesho at really reasonable prices. Keeping them all together makes it easier for me to select fabrics based on my stitching projects. I've also used a separate basket to store all the small leftover fabric scraps so they don't get mixed up with the larger pieces. Now that everything stitching related is neatly stored in this drawer, it's much easier for me to access whatever I need. My sewing machine at home is an automatic one, so I've also kept the foot pedal controller right here in the drawer. And here is my sewing machine. It hasn't been used in quite a while, so I think it's time to bring it back into action. I'm going to clean it up and place it on my table right in front of me so I can practice a little every day. If you would like to see a dedicated video on how to use this machine, do let me know in the comments. I would love to make one for you.
ओके तो आप में से काफ़ी लोगों ने मुझे लास्ट वाले वीडियो में पूछा था कि ये बैग मैंने कहाँ से लिया। तो ये बैग एक्चुअली दोनों बैग मैंने दिल्ली से लिए थे, जनपद मार्केट से। वहाँ पे ये बहुत ही कॉमनली अवेलेबल हैं, आपको बहुत सारी शॉप्स में मिल जाएंगे। जो भी जनपद की जो मार्केट है वहाँ पे बैग्स की जितनी भी शॉप्स हैं वहाँ पर ये आपको मिल जाएंगे बहुत ही आसानी से और ज़्यादा महंगे भी नहीं हैं। आई थिंक ये मैंने कुछ 250 का लिया था और ये कुछ 300 और 350 रुपीज़ का लिया था। हाँ मुझे याद नहीं है, ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा बड़ा है और जब मेरे पास स्टिचिंग का सामान ज़्यादा होता है तो मैं ये वाला बैग ले जाती हूँ और जब कम होता है तो मैं ये वाला बैग ले जाती हूँ। बहुत ही काम के रहे ये मेरे लिए और मैंने इन्हें ऑनलाइन स्टोर से नहीं लिया तो इसलिए थोड़ा मुश्किल है इनके लिंक्स देना, बट मैं ट्राई करूँगी। अगर अमेज़ॉन पे या मीशो में कुछ भी सिमिलर टाइप का मिल गया तो मैं उनके लिंक्स आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दूँगी।
For my classes, I keep a separate sewing kit in my bag that stays there permanently. And for home practice, I use a different kit, the one I showed you earlier. Keeping them separate helps me avoid forgetting anything important. And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, don't forget to like and share. I will see you all next week. Until then, happy homemaking from Simplify Your Space. Bye bye.